Hello viewers, welcome to EduTube. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to find equivalent fractions or how to build equivalent fractions. What are equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are basically fractions which are equal because they are built or created by multiplying or dividing the numerators and the denominators by the same multiplier or the same divisor. So in our first example, we are told to find three other fractions which are equivalent to 2 out of 3 and 56 out of 64. So basically we have two examples or two problems to solve in this lesson. So you could see the first example, it is written 2 out of 3 by multiplying. So that means there are two methods to find or to build equivalent fractions. We could build equivalent fraction by using multiplication method or by using division method. So for this first example, we are using multiplication method. And the reason behind that is because the fraction is already in its simplest form. So using multiplication method to find or to build your equivalent fractions, it will be suitable or it will be more suitable for fractions that are already in their lowest term. So 2 out of 3. So to build the next equivalent fractions of 2 out of 3, I'm going to multiply it using 2 as my multiplier. So as I have written here, you could see I wrote 2 out of 3 times 2 out of 2. So I'm using 2 to multiply the numerator and also 2 to multiply the denominator. 2 times 2 and that will give me 4, and 2 times 3 that will give me what? 6. Then I can also use another number. I could think about 3. I could use 3 as my multiplier since I'm using multiplication method to build the equivalent fraction. So in this time around, I'm going to use 3. So I will say 2 out of 3 times 3 out of 3. So you could see this is the multiplier I'm using. So I'm using the same multiplier to multiply my fraction. So 2 out of 3. So 2 times 3, that will give me what? 6 out of 3 times 3, that will give me what? 9. And then I could also use 4 just to arrange it in sequence. So I could also use 4. So I'm still going to write 2 out of 3 is equals to 2 out of 3 times 4 out of 4. So 4 times 2, that will give me what? 8 out of, and then 4 times 3, that will give me what? 12. So I have 8 out of 12. Thus, therefore, 2 out of 3 is equals to 4 out of 6 is equals to 6 out of 9 and is equals to 8 out of 12. So both 2 over 3, then 4 over 6, 6 over 9, and 8 over 12 are equivalent fractions. Then for division method, as explained in example 1, multiplication method is suitable for fractions that is already in its simplest form. So for division method, we use division method for fractions which are not in their simplest form. So I will basically use the same divisor to divide a number to find my equivalent fraction. So I'm basically using a common factor. So the easier way to find the equivalent fraction of 56 and 64, or to find the common factor that can divide both 56 and 64, is to use your HCF. However, if you are conversant with your multiplication, you could already take that out. So looking at this number merely, I could know that 2 is their common factor. 2 can divide both 56 and 64. So to find the first equivalent fraction of 56 and 64, I'll use the same factor, common factor to divide. So I'll say 56 divided by 2 out of 64 divided by 2. So I'm using the same factor or the same divisor to divide it. So 56 divided by 2, that will give me 28 out of, then 64 divided by 2, that will give me what? 32. So this is the first equivalent fraction. Then again, I'll go again, 56 out of 64. Now, to find the next equivalent fraction to 56 and 64, so I could see that 4 can divide 56 and 4 can divide 64. So I'll write 56 divided by 4 out of 64 divided by 4 as a common factor. So 4 in 56, that is going to give me 14 out of, then 64 divided by 4, that is going to give me 16. So I have 14 out of 16. Now, I found the next two equivalent fractions of 56 out of 64. So let me find the third one. So 56 out of 64. Now another number that can still divide is 8. So I will say 56 divided by 8 out of 64 divided by 8. So if I divide 56 by 8, my answer will be 7 out of then 8. Therefore, 56 out of 64 is equals to 28 out of 32 is equals to 14 out of 16 and is equals to 7 out of 8. So these are the next three equivalent fractions of 56 out of 64. So that's how we build equivalent fraction, by multiplying or dividing. If you are new to this channel, please kindly click on the subscription button below this video to get notified on my academic lessons like this. And if you are a returning subscriber, we say a big thank you for your love and support always. I will see you in the next lesson.